WHB, and we have a gentleman here now live at the American Century Championship Pro-Am Day. Now, last night at dinner, we all pulled the pairing sheet out of who was playing today and went around the table. Who could you play with? You could take anybody in the field. And I don't think I impressed any of my coworkers. I don't know. We had a couple of Barclays or an actor or this person or that person. And I was really thinking clearly last night, and I said I would like to play with Haney because I think if I got 4 hours with him, he could help my game. So Haney is with us now. He's a world-renowned golf coach. You can see him on Golf Channel, the Haney Project, all the great work he's doing there. It is good to see you again. We've had you on a couple of times here from Lake Tahoe. Welcome. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thanks for having me on. It's great. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful day, and what a great tournament. This is one of my most fun tournaments to go to. I love the American Century Classic. It's great. And, it's just seeing all the different stars, and what a beautiful place, too.
Isn't it cool? Yeah. So when you play in a Pro-Am like today, are they afraid to ask you, hey, is my grip right or whatever? Do you offer it up? Is it awkward? What happens when someone gets in a Pro-Am with Haney?
Well, I mean, usually they're going to ask some questions. And today, I can see we weren't too good on the first hole. So I said...
we meaning them, right?
Yeah, we meaning them. So I said, are you guys going to want a little help today? And they were like, yeah.
Yes.
So it turned out to be 4.5 hours of lessons, but it was fun because that's what I do, and I like to help people. And I had a couple guys that were... they would classify as minor miracles.
Okay. So that doesn't bother you? That doesn't drive you crazy?
I love it. It's what I do. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to help people. It's fun to, see them hit some good shots, and it's one thing. I mean, I love to play, so I'm going to get some enjoyment out of playing myself. But I always get enjoyment out of helping people and seeing them do better and seeing the smile on their face. It's one of the great things about being a coach.
Do you try to pick, if you get paired with an amateur, you're only going to know them for 4 hours your whole life? Let's say, and I don't know that that's the case today. Maybe these are people you knew from last year or something like that. But if you had something like that and you played one round with a guy that you're never going to see again, would you try to focus on one thing you see him doing really poorly? Would you give him a piece of advice, or could you make a difference in 4 hours with one person?
Yeah, I mean, you can make a big difference, but you have to keep it real simple. So you have to know just what kind of button to push, and just what's the one or two things I could tell them that they're going to be able to do today, and just show some results. And that's what I try to do. Just pick out their worst miss and try to fix their worst miss. Whatever their big miss is, that's what I try to fix.
How many people just flat don't hold the golf club right?
Yeah, well, most people, because I mean that's a big part about it. Either they don't have their hands positioned right, or they don't have the right grip pressure. A lot of people hold on to it right. But you got to get the grip right. If you hit the ball, your grip's probably just wrong. If you slice the ball, your grip's probably too weak. You have to get that right. That's the quickest way to change something. But it's also the thing that's kind of most uncomfortable to change. So you try not to do that unless you have to. So you have to do that a few times a day.
Haney, our guest, what are the challenges, the different challenges between working with a professional golfer, a touring golfer, or someone who makes a living that is trying to tweak somehow, another half stroke out of their round over the course of 3 or 4 days in a tournament? The highest level players that you've obviously coached and worked with versus somebody who's tremendously competitive and a great competitor but not a golfer. Barkley, Herm Edwards, Michael Phelps, people like this that do on the Haney Project. What are the real challenges or differences?
It's really all the same things. The mistakes are the same. They're just the better players. The mistakes aren't as large, but it's the same mistake. Okay? I mean, you only do so many things wrong, so it'll be the same kind of mistakes or group of mistakes.
Hey, where are you, Hank?
How big it is and how frequent it is what changes. But in the pros, you just see a little bitty something, and with amateurs, it's the same thing, but it's bigger.
So many people will play a round or two of golf. They won't play maybe as a kid. They'll be an adult. They'll say, yeah, there's an outing, I'm going to go play. And they'll be terrible at it, and they'll say, you know what, that game's too hard, I can't play it, and they'll walk away from it and never play again. What would you tell people listening right now that they don't play golf, or that it's just been too hard for them if they've played a time or two? Can anybody learn how to do this and have fun? I'm not talking about learning and shooting 70, okay? But you truly believe that unless you have a physical handicap or something, that anybody can play this game and find some enjoyment in it if they just learn a few simple keys? What would your advice be?
I mean, that's a great point because the learning curve in golf is tough, and we lose a lot of people that start but don't continue. But the thing with me is you can get better if you have a plan. Most people have a goal. But my good friend Herm Edwards, he always says, a goal without a plan is nothing but a dream. That's right.
I like that, right? Yeah.
So the thing is most people have a goal to get better at golf, but they don't have a plan. So they just have a dream of getting better.
Right.
So you have to have a plan, but to do that, you have to have a diagnosis, and you have to have help. You have to have somebody that's a pro that helps you, and you got to have a plan, and you just work at it, and you get better.
Whose game do you really like in the field here of the celebrities? Who do you look at and say, boy, that's from a swing technical standpoint? We know there are guys out there that some of these guys score low every year. We did Billy Joe Tolliver on a while ago. He says, look, he is a good player. He says he didn't even come to the range and practice nothing. He said, the horses or the hays, one of the whatever is out of the barn. By the time I get here, spending 2 hours on the range isn't going to help me. He says I'm either going to play well or I'm not. So some guys are real interesting like that. But I don't look at him as a really technical golfer. He's pretty darn good. Whose swings do you look at and say, boy, they really have it right. They got a chance.
Oh, I mean, Jack Wagner's got a great swing. I mean, this tournament, he's done very well, and he's won before. He's got a really good golf swing. Dan Quinn's got a really good golf swing. And the thing is with the game today is there's so many great teachers in the game that you see, and great technology for teaching. So there's just so many great golf swings. There's so many great golf swings on the tour. There's so many great amateur golf swings. Everybody kind of figures it out. They get instruction, they get help, but then at the end you got to make the putts. So that's the thing in any tournament in the world.
We have one round on the books at the British Open, and you can tell me who you're rooting for, because I've got a decent idea of some of the guys that you really like, that you've worked with or working with. The Open Championship, we have Zach Johnson 5 under, Marco Miros 4 under today. Tremendous round. Dustin Johnson, Grant Snedeker, Tom Lehman, all 3 under. Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods at 2 under. This is a tremendous leaderboard. I've not been to Muirfield, but just your thoughts on what it's going to take to win that tournament. Maybe some of the guys that played well on day one.
Well, I mean, I love the Open Championship because of what you said. You usually have a great leaderboard, and I think that's a sign of a really great tournament. I love the fact that the British Open courses allow a player who's older to still play the game and be competitive. And we saw with Tom Watson. Now this year, Mark Mir and Tom Layton. That's pretty cool. Experience means so much, especially when the course is playing hard and fast, and distance isn't the most important thing. Then the players that are older can play with the younger guys, and that's pretty cool. Mark was a student of mine in Mira for like 26 years, so I'm always cheering for him. And obviously I'd like to see Tiger win because it's just I'd like to see him win another major and get after Jack Nicklaus's record.
That's nice. You're rooting for Tiger. I like that. That's good. Did you ever dream that Hank Haney would be a big deal? That's a serious question. You're a golf teacher, instructor. You working with pros, so you knew what you love to do. Did you ever think that you'd parlay it into? And I know you've got a new line of shoes that are out. You've got your own show on Golf Channel. That all these things have materialized. Did you ever think that was possible?
Probably not to the extent that it's been. I mean, I've been very fortunate and very blessed, and I'm so lucky. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And I've had so many great students, and so many great things happen to me because of the game of golf. But I just like to teach. I just like to help people. It's always been fun for me. It's amazing when you have a job that's like your passion, it's your hobby, it's your job. It really feels like I haven't worked one day in my life. So I just feel like I'm like the luckiest guy in the world.
It's pretty cool. Now, I love what's happened with golf shoes the last few years. They've gotten lighter. I never really needed spikes. I don't know. I always felt like these guys wearing real long metal spikes and stuff, if you're digging in, maybe you're not balanced enough. I could be crazy.
I agree with you.
Okay, and I'll go out with my wife in the evening sometimes. We'll play 9 holes. I got flip-flops on. I'll skip them off with my barefoot. I'm one of those guys. I just like... But you've got a new line of shoes that you're designing. Crocs is in the golf shoe business, and I just think it's great that companies are coming in and they're designing cooler things that are lighter and workable. What did you try to do when you designed a golf shoe?
Well, I mean, Crocs has always made comfortable shoes. They're known for making really comfortable
absolutely.
shoes. So then we wanted to make comfortable golf shoes. A lot of people go, do those shoes have enough support, no matter what shoes they're talking about? And I'm like, I don't think you need as much support as people think you do. Like you said, you can play in your bare feet. But you want to be comfortable. And the whole trend in golf shoes is you wear the same shoes to the course and from the course. So, and these long spikes that they tear up the greens, they tear up the clubhouse, they tear up everything. Right. So that's a thing of the past. And, like you said, I mean, there's just so many really cool looking shoes now, and they're, I think just more casual and more fun and more comfortable. So that's what we try to do with Crocs, and we've off to a great start. This is our second year. We got the best new product at the PGA Merchandise Show.
Nice.
First year of everything in the business, and we're excited all the way up in the future.
Cool. The only thing I can't play in is flip-flops. I think I could play in army boots. but I can't play in flip-flops because the toe, when I finish the toe, the rubbery toe turns over and I can't do it. But I love, if I'm out on the course and I've only had flip-flops, I just kick them off and play barefoot.
You know what? I'm going to send you something.
No, you
I'm
don't.
going to say something, you know what? Because we have Crocs golf shoes that are flip-flops.
Really?
And we have a
patented
toe guard.
Is that what it is? Because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I just kick them off, put them in the.
I'm gonna hook you up.
I'll just throw them right in the. I throw the flip flops in the bag, and I just play barefoot. Now I like playing barefoot. I'm a little like, man.
I love these.
Don't tell me what you have on the toe. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's a toe guard. So it just wraps around the toe, and then when you pivot through, you don't dig your toe in the ground.
I find myself, if I have these I have them on right now. If I have, and I just hit some balls earlier today when the range was open. I just kicked them off and grabbed a 7-iron down there and started hitting from the TaylorMade tent. But when I do it, I start thinking about the flip-flops. I can't do it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get caught. Something's going to happen. You can't be thinking about your shoes when you're in a golf ball, right?
It's your lucky day.
I didn't know you had such. I promise you, I had no idea you. Did you invent that, or was it somebody else's idea?
No, we had them before, but so we reintroduced them, and they're really cool.
And they work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm in. I may get online right now, just order them and have them shipped. It'll just be over. Great to see you, Hank. Thanks for coming on. All the best. Okay, there's Hank Haney. He's from the Golf Channel, the Haney Project, and of course, Crocs.